14. Wyatt. Pinch my cheek one more time, Aurora, and I'll take back my offer to help with the retreat, I grumble, freezing just inside the doorframe to try to cool down my irritation. But then you wouldn't get to work with me every day, and I know how much you'd miss that, she counters with a daring grin and flicks her sneakers off. They land lopsided, so once I've taken my boots off, I nudge our shoes around, making them sit side by side, nice and neatly. I look up to catch her perking a brow at me, hands on her hips. I frown. That's debatable. She waves me off with a giggle, the kind that seems so at odds with the crying girl I found on her deck the other week. You just looked like you enjoyed it so much when Mrs. Wolf pinched your cheek. I thought you'd want to experience it again. Aurora skips off into the open-plan living room. She begins flicking through some folders on the coffee table, humming and checking up at me with a mischievous glim in her eyes. I let my eyes flutter closed as I'll take in a breath, beach for patience, before my sigh rumbles out. Firstly, I clearly did not enjoy it when she pinched my cheek in front of the whole council. I literally told you that. And secondly, I find my way to the coffee table, her breath hitching when she spins around. Inches away, even if I did enjoy it, you then continuing to pinch my cheek 7 more times in the span of the 20-minute journey home ruined that. She snorts, too amused by herself. But you're such a big grown-up boy with a big grown-up business now, Aurora teases, attempting an accent as close to Mrs. Wolf's as possible. She bites down on her lips straight after, a menacing smile held back. I don't know whether to put Aurora's frantic energy down to her being excited that the meeting with the council went well, or nervous that it didn't. Although we'd sorted out most of the legalities with shifting the ranch into a partial retreat, the Willow Ridge Council had to sign off on the change. Nothing happens in this town without going past them. Luckily, Wolfman's mom is on the council, so she was already singing our praises in advance to soften the famously tough crowd. But honestly, Aurora smashed it. We'd spent the last few nights prepping Tor every possible question or concern they might have had, and talked about ways local businesses could get involved once the retreat is fully up and running. Assuming it all works out, and that's even what she wants. Either way, whatever has got Aurora in this mood, I need to make her snap out of it, because she's pushing me into a corner of annoyance that makes me want to touch her so badly, especially after that day in the lake. I don't know why, but I just can't get the way she felt against me off my mind. I'm itching to grab her perfect little body and make her shut up with my mouth. I was seconds away from caving the other day when I had her pressed up against the deck after I chased her, because she took that stupid selfie with me in the background doing yoga. When her breasts were heaving against me, lips parted and inviting, "Quit getting carried away, Wyatt. Have you found those paint swatches from Cherry yet?" I ask, changing the subject back to the real reason I came into her house. Getting Cherry on board for decorating the guest houses, given her interior design background, was a no-brainer. Eyes the perfect opportunity to get expert advice on how to make the guest houses feel as relaxing as possible, while also offering Cherry experience that'll give her a competitive edge when it comes to applying for internships and jobs next year. Knowing I could help both Cherry and Aurora out at the same time made me feel useful. I thought they were down here. Aurora's grin disappears and she scrambles through the folders again, huffing when her search appears futile. I flop down onto the cream couch, shuffling into the patchwork throw that's draped over the back. It might be the first time I've properly sat down all day, apart from driving. Despite that, my shoulders feel oddly at ease. In comparison to normal, I don't feel the usual need to roll them about to loosen the tension. I can hear the reason why blaring in my mind, but even if it's silently, I'm not ready to admit that the yoga Aurora's roped us into doing every morning now might actually have helped. Maybe they're upstairs. Come on. It takes me a second to realize Aurora's waving at me to join her on her continued search upstairs. I make a whining noise, hoping I could stay sitting here for more than 10 seconds, but apparently not. When I don't move, she whines back and waves even more wildly. I concede and follow her upstairs with a deep sigh. "And you said you thought I was kinky," I comment, nodding to the tripod and camera set up at the end of her bed when we reach her room. Aurora spins, brow furrowed until she notices what I'm staring at. I don't hold back my smirk as I lean in the doorframe. Is wellness and positivity influencer code for something else? You wish? Her eyes roll, a subsequent sneer thrown my way, but I don't miss the way her cheeks take on a rosier flush. I was filming myself meditating, actually. My followers sometimes like to do live sessions with me in the morning. Wait, I push off the doorframe further into the room as Aurora starts rummaging through a bag. I'm trying really hard not to stare at her ass right now as she's so blatantly bent over in front of me. People literally watch you sit in silence on your bed, and you get paid for that? Well, I get paid to do posts for brands, but I've done some live sessions with different companies' meditations. Playing. So yeah, I guess so. Uh-huh. Aurora jumps up, paint swatches in hand, and she fist pumps the air. She hops over to me. Here you go. Thanks, I pocket the swatches. I guess I should probably go. Maybe pick up the paint or check on some of the cattle, actually do my job, but something makes me want to stay, so what is so great about this meditating? I don't get it. Aurora lets out a breathy laugh, the corners of her mouth twitching. Get on the bed, I freeze. That wasn't exactly where I was expecting this afternoon to go. Excuse me? Get on the bed and I'll show you how meditating works. I run my hand along my angled jaw. Once again, I feel the need to ask, is wellness and positivity influencer code for something? Oh, shut up and do as you're told, she retorts. Offering back a sneer to mirror hers, I cross my arms. I thought we established you're not my boss. I don't have to do as you say. Aurora tilts her head at me, brows raised. Wyatt, you can't do this retreat and not have a clue what meditating is. Just do this once. Ask nicely. With a roll of her eyes, fire beginning to dance behind them, Aurora scoffs. She glances away from me for a few seconds, then snaps her gaze back. Fine, please get on the bed. Fuck, that wasn't quite how I was expecting her to phrase it. The way my body zapped to life with her words is also not ideal. The room and the edges of my vision seems to darken, all the light pooling around her. Suddenly, her hazel eyes catch me, glistening as she steps forward slowly, forcing me backwards until the back of my legs hit the bed. I drop down onto it, my legs spread out with Aurora more or less standing between them. The whole position makes me swallow now that I'm the one staring up at her. Sunlight radiates through the window behind her, giving her a golden glow that feels too angelic with the way she's towering over me. Close your eyes, she instructs next, nothing in her expression giving away what the hell she's thinking. I'd rather have the annoyingly excitable Aurora back from earlier, just because then she'd give me some daring grin to tell me she was up to something. But no. Instead, I've just got two big hazel eyes twinkling at me, waiting for me to obey. I huff out a sigh when I finally do, and a few seconds later some calming music begins to play. I shift about trying to get comfortable, and my leg brushes Aurora's, making me freeze again at how close she is. Eye's the last thing I need right now when I'm trying to focus. My mind is anything but clear when her body is on it. Just let yourself relax. Focus on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Aurora demonstrates, and I try to match the pace of her long, slow breaths, and her hand covers my chest, making me start. You're breathing a lot through your chest, but if you focus on breathing through your stomach, it will feel deeper. Right, okay, I say through gritted teeth, aware that I haven't let out a breath since she touched me. And then when her fingers trail down my chest to my stomach, my whole body tightens. I don't know how I'll get the memory of her long nails tracking down my abs out of my head now. Wyatt, Aurora whispers. She must lean closer because I suddenly get a hit of her bright citrus scent. Yep, you're not breathing. Right, I finally sigh out, shaking my head a little. I'm practically panting now as I take in a few more gulps of air to compensate. Heat crawls across my skin over the back of my neck as I try to ignore the embarrassing fact that I literally forgot how to breathe because a woman just touched me, and that I can hear Aurora's breathy little snigger. She must think I'm such an idiot. I'm about to open my eyes and end this uncomfortable moment, when whatever meditation she's playing starts talking, telling me that I am capable of anything I put my mind to. Sure. I didn't think people spoke in meditations. Only some, but I prefer them. I find it helpful to have someone's voice guiding me and reassuring me. It kind of makes sense for her, really. The number of times I've heard her give herself little pep talks, like when we were riding for the first time the other week, and before the meeting we had today, suggests she likes to talk things through. And like that time when she confessed everything she was feeling on the porch swing after our night at the bar. Watching her face brighten and body soften as the tension disappeared with each sentence was pretty relieving. I'll keep that in mind, I find myself saying. The meditation pauses, and when I open my eyes, Aurora's still standing between my legs, looking dumb at me, her copper waves tumbling over half her tass. It's going to take a lot more effort than I first thought to remove myself from this position, with the soft energy holding us so close together. I'm surprised you haven't got your phone out snapping secret photos of me. I'm just trying to change the mood. Aurora rolls her lips with a bashful smile, bringing my attention to where they're all shiny from her strawberry-colored lip gloss. Damn, I wonder if they taste like strawberry too. Nope, I shouldn't be thinking about that. Anyway, I laugh. You've missed your chance because, believe me, that's the first and only time you'll ever catch me meditating. I think I'll stick to riding. She tucks some of her hair behind her ear as she asks. Riding? Yeah, that's how I clear my head. And it's exactly what I plan on doing once I leave this house, because there's no way I'm going to be able to focus for the rest of the day when all I can think about is her hands against my chest, trailing down my stomach.